Birth Story 17. How Stella Got Her V back. Mom. She desired an all-natural childbirth experience using hypnobabies. Achieved childbirth vaginally after a previous cesarean with IV fluids, epidural anesthesia, and ephedrine. Baby number 2, Reese, born May 7th, 8 pounds, 3 ounces. Gestation, 39 weeks, 0 days. Labor. Natural onset of labor lasted 33 hours. Shram. She pushed for 2 hours. Dear Reese, your mom had a traumatic first birth that ended in an emergency cesarean section. She reached out to me at 12 weeks pregnant to help her prepare for a VBAC. During her first birth, she felt robbed of many experiences, like seeing and holding her baby immediately. She had a different plan for you. She emailed me some of her thoughts before the birth that I want to share with you. She desperately needed your healing birth. Quote, I want to feel so good to be able to see him and hold him and smell him and touch him and nurse him and remember it all. I want to see the look on my husband's face when our son is born. I want to see the look on the baby's face when he is born. And then I want him to never leave our side. End quote. She didn't get to experience any of this with her first birth. Your mom had a doctor's appointment 3 days before you were born, and the day before she went into labor with you. They performed an NST, and you looked good on the monitor. Your mom was healthy and feeling good, so she declined their offer for an internal exam. I spoke with your mom a few times that week, and she began showing early signs of labor, including frequent diarrhea. Early Friday morning at 12:40 a.m., your mom awoke to contractions 6 minutes apart and lasting for 45 seconds. I suggested she go back to bed. But your mom never found sleep. She drank 4 ounces of wine and tried to lie down, but finally got out of bed at 4 a.m. She texted me at 5 a.m. to let me know she had lost part of her mucus plug. Contractions were 7 minutes apart and about 45 seconds long. She went for her usual 5 a.m. walk, and contractions slowed to 9 minutes apart. When she sat still, contractions were back to 5 minutes apart. Your mom wanted to be alone, read her book, and listen to her Hypnobabies track, which was reserved for her early birthing time. Pop-out self-hypnosis birthing. There are many self-hypnosis birthing classes that might be available in your area, including Hypnobabies, Hypnobirthing, and/or individual birth hypnosis instructors. Hypnobabies is one brand of self-hypnosis that is a powerful form of somnambulistic hypnosis. Many expectant parents will take this specific childbirth education course to learn how to easily and peacefully be guided into a hypnotic state while birthing. Hypnobabies moms employ audio tracks and hypnosis scripts to ease the sensations of labor and hypnoanesthesia. This type of birthing requires practice and preparation for many weeks in advance of your labor. I have used several versions of self-hypnosis birthing courses with my clients and achieved my own natural childbirth with self-hypnosis birthing during one of my births. Around 2:15 p.m., Your mom's contractions grew more intense and were 4 to 5 minutes apart while she ate lunch. I arrived and sat with your mom on the floor with lots of pillows in the downstairs living room. Her contractions were spaced decently apart. She had energy still and was cheerful. We labored in the living room for a while longer and would go outside for sunshine and fresh air intermittently. Your mom walked me around the garden where tomatoes and strawberries were growing. Your dad watered the plants, and we felt the sun shine down on us. It was a gorgeous day. Contractions slowly built throughout the afternoon. Your mom had to use the bathroom often. She was very external in her labor and was at this point still finding comfort in conversing with me and your dad. She curled up on the couch to watch a movie, but we only made it 2 minutes in before your mom had a contraction and lost interest. As the sun was starting to set, she and I went out for a walk around the neighborhood. Contractions were beginning to hurt, and your mom wanted to lean forward for comfort and to squat. Her contractions were 1 to 2 minutes apart the whole time. Neighbors asked if they could help us, and their kindness brought smiles to our faces. We walked for a couple of hours and then headed back to the house. She labored at home for a while, and things predictably picked up in intensity. Your mom was starting to tire as it was approaching 9 p.m., and she hadn't slept at all the night before. She decided it was time to go to the hospital. Once we arrived at the hospital, I asked her parents to pause in the parking lot and just chill for a minute. It was brisk for a May night, so I put my sweatshirt on your mom. The moon was bright in the cloudless, starry sky, and the wind tickled the hair falling from her bun. Your mom looked especially beautiful in that moment, filled with love for the family she and your father were in the final stages of creating. We walked around for a bit in the parking lot, just experiencing the night together. When she finally decided to check into the hospital, the staff allowed her to bypass triage because it was her second baby, and after hearing the intensity of her primal labor sounds. They asked your mom to lie in the bed to monitor you and to check her cervix, which she let everyone know she was not happy about. She was 6 centimeters dilated. After 20 minutes of monitoring, the nurses prepared the tub and she climbed in. The contractions were increasingly close together, and she described them as very painful. We were all afraid your occiput posterior, OP, facing up instead of down, with the tremendous back pain your mom was having. She labored very hard for almost 3 hours in that tub. She got out of the tub to use the restroom and had her first bloody show. By this point, she had her eyes closed and would rarely open them. She was turning her head in circles and rocking back and forth. We fed her water through a straw and used ice chips and lavender cloths to try and comfort her. She had slipped deep inside of herself and had given in to the labor. She moaned quietly with many of the contractions. She tried to find comfort in different positions, but 24 hours of labor and no sleep were wearing her down. She desired rest. Your mom called out that she couldn't do it anymore. This was the flagship sentence to let us all know she was in transition. The nurse checked your mom and stated that she was now 8 centimeters dilated. However, you were in fact posterior and still high at a -2 station. Your parents consulted with the nurse and doctor who suggested an epidural would be the best option for her back pain given your position. At 1:30 a.m., the anesthesiologist came in to place your mom's epidural. Your mom's blood pressure dropped very low to 70/50. You responded to her drop in blood pressure immediately with a very low heart rate. The doctors administered ephedrine, a powerful stimulant that increases blood pressure, and you and your mom were better almost immediately. Very soon after, your mom opened her eyes again, left the labor zone, and re-entered the world. Her pain began to subside. She felt so much better and was able to truly sleep. We rolled her from side to side every 30 to 45 minutes to try and get you to turn your body. At 6:30 a.m., your mom had a hot spot with her epidural, and it awakened her as she was able to feel everything on the right side once again. Pop out epidural hot spots. 2 things you may not know about epidurals. You can get an epidural hot spot and or a one-sided epidural. When your epidural is placed, the tip of the catheter should be facing the middle of your back. Every now and then, it is pointed to one side, causing the one-sided epidural. All this means for you is that you may feel relief on one side of your body more than the other. You may also have a hot spot when this happens. Moms will describe it to me as if their entire uterus is numb, except for one small spot, somewhere on their belly. While both of these scenarios are frustrating, when you have sought some pain relief, they are easily fixed with changing positions, replacement of the epidural, or pushing your epidural button for a little bit more medicine. The anesthesiologist had to come back 2 more times to give a boost to the epidural before it subsided. Your mom went from being able to move her legs to not being able to feel them at all after the extra doses. At 7 a.m., her cervix was complete, and your head was nice and low at a 0 station. The doctor told her to rest and that she could start pushing whenever she felt a lot of rectal pressure or the urge to push. 30 minutes later, your mom had the slight urge to push and went with it. She pushed in several different positions as we continued to try and to get you to turn your body. She was squatting on her side and on her hands and knees. Your mom pushed very well as she is in great shape, and you descended quickly. At 9 a.m., I was able to see the top of your head, and you had black hair all over. As your mom continued to push, she reached down and was able to feel the top of your head. That was it. On the next few pushes, you started to emerge like you were asleep on your right side. You had turned halfway over from facing up. I have this amazing photo of you halfway out and halfway inside of your mom. Her water broke, and you came right out on the next push at 9:41 a.m. They lifted you to your mom's chest, and your dad was crying. Your parents stared at you in amazement. I basked in the glory of watching the moment that your mom had dreamed about come true. The doctor massaged the cord until it stopped pulsating, and then I was gifted the privilege of cutting your cord. Your baby nurse had to give you a little bit of oxygen until we heard your beautiful voice cry out. You had your arms reaching straight up your mom's chest and were staring right at her. After a few minutes, you latched right on and started nursing. You weighed 8 pounds, 3 ounces, and were 20 inches long. Much love, your doula, Heidi.